Hello everyone, just Goran here and welcome back to Building the Beekse Bergen Season 2. In the last episode we worked on the entrance area, or I showed you the entrance area's improvements, I'd rather say. And today I'm going to show you some improvements of the area you're looking at now, which includes the safari restaurant, gorilla habitat and a bunch of other things. You're looking at what it used to be now, but there we go. I made a whole bunch of improvements here using the Europe pack and the North America pack, as you can see by the little twigs and branches over there. So looky, this is the old gorilla habitat, and I want you to focus on the shelters because they were very wrong. They used to be made out of wood, and they are supposed to be these concrete blocks and whatnot. Also, these little trees have like an electric wire around them. What I used to think is that there were little ropes supporting the trees growing there, so fixed that up. Yeah, this habitat is one of the first things I built and never really touched on again. So I took the time to go back and fix everything wrong with it. That included the shape of the habitat, those little shelters, and yeah, that basically there's a couple of the climbing logs as well. But yeah, I just cleaned it up a bit, added the periwinkle, which is one of my new favorite plants, I think to a lot of people, to just make the habitat a bit nicer and cleaner. Something I added as well, which we'll have a look at that in the real-time part in a bit. Let's do these side-by-sides. First, I thought to give you an impression of all the things I did, and also give you an impression of what it used to be. So, if we just turn around real quick, we'll get to see the safari restaurant, which used to have like all these orange bricks and stuff, and has now been changed in real life to be a lot more modern and sleek. It's been plastered over. So that's what we have going on here. But other than that, there's also some improvements like the railing. You just saw it switch from what it used to be to what it is now. Here it is in the before again. I had a lot of the Europack pieces, like the rope, no, not the ropes, the cable pieces, and all of the grunge pieces along the wall over there. Yeah, this restaurant actually got a little upgrade right before the end of Season 1. When I was just getting the park ready to be put on the workshop, I gave this restaurant a little interior, as you can see over here. Nothing too crazy, I just wanted to get it presentable. And now that interior has also been updated because it has been changed in real life to be a lot more modern and sleek as well. I didn't do this too accurately because I wanted it to be functional. I put an actual restaurant in here. So here we have the other side once again, what it used to be. You've got like a bunch of chairs, self-service. There used to be this really cool like rope bridge and jungly thing in the dome, but that's been removed now, and there's these really nice looking basket lamps, which I recreated using the rope pieces from the North America pack. But yeah, we'll look at that all in real time in a bit. Over here we have the final, not the final thing that I've improved, but the final thing I have before and afters for. This is the Gibbon habitat, and I used to have it made really overgrown and messy. I don't know if that was accurate or not, because the thing with this habitat, just like the restaurant, is that I both improved the accuracy of it, but also it has been changed in real life. The Gibbons have received a bunch of new climbing frames, so I added those, but I did not only add those, but I also improved things, because these net things over here, they used to be there already. But I didn't really do a good job at building them. But anyway, let's jump to a real-time part. So here we are, and something I forgot to mention in the last episode actually is that I also changed these little roofs a little bit. I added a bunch more dome pieces to kind of make them a little bit more straight, which is a bit more accurate, because in the in-game pieces for these, as you can kind of see with the flatter ones, they're really wobbly and wavy and whatnot. But anyway, we looked at the entrance in the last episode, so let's move past that, and actually we're going to go to the gorilla and chimpanzee habitat real quick. Didn't really do much with the chimpanzees yet, other than adding all of these signs over here. Now this is where I really went a little overboard with the custom signs, and I don't think I'll be doing this again, doing the custom fonts this small. Like, it's so piece heavy and so unnecessary. Like, I could just make this a white line and nobody would really bat an eye at it, so we're probably not going to do that again. But you know, for this, it's cool, it's impressive. We also have our new education signs. If you've been seeing any of the sign streams, we might do them again soon. I'm not sure how. It depends on how I feel. I'm actually a little sick right now and a little busy, so streaming isn't always an option. Autosave, thank you. But yeah, they look freaking cool. I love them. I'm really happy with them. Yeah, not much else to say on the interior here. Nothing much has changed about it. So let's move on. And here you can see the walls with the new grunge pieces. In real life, this wall is really kind of messy, intentionally so. You can see all the bits of coltan and stuff. I also added that at the end of season 1. Don't think I ever showed that. So here you have that. But yeah, there's a lot of white little spots on this wall. And I'm not sure what it is, but with the grunge pieces, we've been able to kind of put that in. And I do like the look of that. So that's really, really cool. But yeah, on the other side, we have the gorilla habitat. And here we can see that new shelter. So if we just quickly move up to it, we can see it's made out of these concrete blocks, really. Then yeah, that's I noticed that at one point. Like, it's pretty dark in these things, so I never really noticed what the material was. So back when I built this habitat for the first time, like 2 years ago, I thought it was wood. I don't know why. I didn't really think about it. And after that, I never really questioned it. But I think it was during the summer event when I was actually sitting on this terrace having dinner that I looked at these and I was like, wait, that's just the concrete blocks that they also use for like the bridges and stuff. Why did I make this out of wood? So that's why I wanted to fix it. And on top, we're using the new moss decals as like grass and dirt. It makes for great dirt to kind of get the grassy top on there, and I think that looks really, really, really good. Super happy with that. We also have the birch branches that came with the North America pack. They often give the gorillas some branches because they like to like strip them and do all sorts of things with them. Usually it's fresh branches as well, so that's why I kind of put this, oops, that's not what I want. There we go, that's why I put this birch tree in there. That kind of gives the alive branch feeling. So yeah, over here also we have the electrical things protecting the little trees. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the gorillas. Periwinkle, really, really good. So let's put the sun back around and we'll have a look at the restaurant, because this is definitely really, really cool. I made some huge improvements here. This wall using the new rustic drywall thing of the Europe pack, but also this back over here. This used to be the same orange brick as you can see over here. I actually have a clip of that. So yeah, this used to be all of that orange brick and all sorts of stuff, but the restaurant has been redesigned a little bit, and they plastered over all of that brick with, well, plaster, believe it or not. So I put the plaster on here. They also added this much cleaner wood, which is all little thin planks. And the way I did that is just using fun pieces to divide these planks of the in-game wood in two. I think it looks good. I think it's probably just as good as using a bunch of in-game planks. What's also cool about it is over here I did use kind of in-game planks. I used the trim pieces, as you can see over here, just kind of stacking them together to create this awning. Yeah, is that an awning? I don't know. Architecture terms aren't my thing. But yeah, if we go inside, we're going inside through the back now. The interior isn't too much to write home about. Got a bunch of planters. I do really like these lamps, as I showed in the before and afters earlier. But yeah, I made them custom just so you could get this lighting effect from them, because using the in-game baskets that we do have, like these, it looks okay, but it blocks all of the light from the lamp inside, so you don't really get that effect of the light shining through the woven basket thing. So over here there's also a self-service bar. I use the, what did you call it? This is the fan base as plates. It looks really nice stacked on top of each other like that. And I use the pillows for like piles of food. I just thought it had a really nice shape for that. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Also got the new hinge piece. Of course, that is a fantastic piece that I've started using heavily. You could see it in the last episode. I made like a skeleton out of it, which wasn't the perfect way to use them, but over here they are very nice for these mayonnaise dispensers and stuff. Yeah, not much else to say here really, other than that this ice cream machine thing is built by Toves, I think. Yes, it is. It's by Toves. So gotta give credit where credit is due. I kind of didn't feel like making one myself when there was one perfectly available there. So as you can see, this is a functional restaurant. We're using the restaurant tables also on the outside here. I covered them with these wooden things, which are much more accurate to what there is at the real zoo. Things to point out here are the guest barrier signs as plates, and the rest of stuff is mostly made out of foam pieces. In real life, these tables are a lot smaller and mostly accommodated for like 4 people. On the inside, the tables aren't round but rectangular, which is a bit of a bummer. We don't really have a rectangular table like this, or tables that are for 4 people. They're all for 6. That would be a nice addition to the restaurant feature, I guess, but to be fair, we can't complain. This feature is really, really cool, and I'm really happy with the amount of creativity it allows by not requiring the tables to be on a path or something like that. The people just teleport to the tables, which, you know, is a little wonky, but it works. It makes it so much easier to work with. It's a lot more... it's a lot less complicated that way. You can just put your tables wherever and it just works. So that is all really cool. And on down here I got similar tables but not functional, just so we could kind of fit more stuff in here. But where is the restaurant, you might ask? Well, I put it in the toilet. So of course there wasn't any space in this building itself because we have the actual functional restaurant itself, but you can always hide your facilities underground. So in the toilet, in real life this actually also goes downstairs past this door, so that's kind of funny. But down here we still have toilets, but we also have the restaurant facility, which is linked up to all the tables upstairs. So people go to the toilet and then they appear at their table, which is kind of funny, but it works. If it works, it works, you know. Can't complain about that. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the restaurant. So let's go to my next favorite thing. This is one of my favorite builds of this episode. We have the Gibbon habitat, and you could already pretty much see everything there is about it. But I want you to hear something about it. So we have gibbon noises. I figured, since we can't have gibbons, how can we get the atmosphere that the gibbons bring? Because gibbons make such unique, awesome sounds. I really hope this isn't too loud. They make such awesome, unique sounds that really, like, I spent a couple of days at the zoo doing research for a school project, and just hearing the gibbons sing every morning was so freaking cool. I wanted to have that in here. So I tried to find some audio of gibbons. Like, I had a few recordings myself, but they had a lot of background noise. I found a website, a German website, I think it's run by some German university, that is basically a collection of animal recordings, mainly for research purposes, but you can just download, like, think of any animal and you can probably find a recording of their sounds on that website. And a lot of it is free to use as long as you like give attribution. So in the link you can find in the link, in the description you can, okay, these gimmicks are very loud. In the description you can find a link to that website where I downloaded all of these Gibbon noises, and I hope you can use that website for your own projects. If you have an implied habitat or something like that, adding sound like this really brings it to life. Like, of course we have the bonobo in there to have something move, but without the sound it just wouldn't be the same. I actually have a couple of things you might have seen in the trailer, the season 1 trailer. Like I have the weaver birds in the Africa village area. I also added a recording of weaver birds. That one actually did come from my own recording from at the zoo. But yeah, this is just really, really freaking awesome. Also, I forgot to mention, I think at one point I made a tutorial about hiding, whoops, what am I doing? At one point I made a tutorial about hiding certain things underground, like the education talk, and I concluded that it didn't work for vista points. But while I was working over here, I can't find the vista point right now, while I was working over here I just wondered, like, does it, who knows, maybe it works, because I was getting sick of people only looking at the gibbons from the parking lot. Like, people would walk up to the entrance and then walk backwards to go look at the gibbons from the parking lot. Whereas this is kind of the official viewing area for them. So I put up a vista point somewhere hidden under here, and now guests actually do walk up here and look at the gibbons from here. So that is really, really sweet. Super happy with that. So yeah. Couple of minor improvements to the backstage building using mesh and whatnot, but that's pretty much that. So over here, other viewing area for the gorillas, we can see the other new education signs. I think we did make these on stream, or at least the donation sign over here I think I made on stream, so you might recognize that. But yeah, the main difference in the gorilla habitat is that over here there's a lot of extra space that I used to not have. Apparently my island was a little too small, but I don't want to go too much that way because there's spoilers for the next episode. So the last thing we're going to look at today is going to be over here. It is the coltan mine. This area, when I in the last episode said we're going to fix up some of the worst offenders, I showed some footage of this place, of what it used to be. And I'm going to throw up that same footage right now. This was the ugliest thing in the zoo. It's just a thing that I built and I never looked at again. And I am so happy I went back and changed some things. So over here we have a new sign, warning, mining area. It actually has it all on there. It's not just some stripes. Of course, the main technique here is to use, I'll get out of the way, stupid grass, is to just put a font piece up and then cover it in more font pieces that have the same color as the wood, to make it look like you've got like the red paint. You know what I mean. It looks like the warning bit is unpainted. Like it's made out of wood, but it's actually all just font pieces. It works pretty well. And yeah, this sign is freaking cool. I'm so happy with it, but that's not where it ends. So something I'm not sure if I did this for season 1, but we have custom audio. I think I did have this audio in here already. I'm gonna pause it because it's gonna go over my voice, otherwise it's gonna be a bit too much different audio at once. But we have an actual hole in the ground now, which also has custom audio in it. There's like a dramatic music, like a creepy music sort of thing. We also have a bunch of leaf litter and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm just happy that it's an actual hole instead of just a rock, which it used to be. Covered up a lot of the edges with grunge and moss decals, which look a lot like the dirt and path that we have here, just to kind of not have a hole in the ground, you know. Yeah, but then one of the best parts is probably this little hut that has all sorts of props and stuff. So this area is about coltan, and coltan is a resource that's mostly being mined in Africa, from what I understand. And the mining practices for it are pretty destructive. Lots of forests get cut down, and the mines themselves are also, like, there are these tiny little holes that often children would have to work in. And the resource is used for mostly mobile phones and other electronical devices. So what this thing is teaching you about is that if we recycle our phones and stuff like that, we lower the demand for coltan, which hopefully would make less of these mines being built, because, you know, there's less demand for the resource. So yeah, that's what this is about. And the way it's being taught is also just really, really cool. There's this little laptop. There's actually motion sensors like in these bushes, and if you walk inside, the laptop will start playing a video that kind of addresses you. It's really like, hey, what are you doing in the coltan mine? Blah, blah, blah. We're trying to fight the rebels. They're building all these mines and it's horrible. The cause of this is mobile phones. Even the phone that you have lying at home. They really say that, like, they are specifically talking to you. And I think that's such a strong line, which, you know, it made me go and find old phones in my house that I knew I had and donate them at the zoo. Because at the Wildlife Foundation building, I think I may have mentioned it last time, at the Wildlife Foundation, where we were in the last episode, there's actually a barrel where you can drop in your old mobile phones, and they make sure they get recycled and stuff like that. So super, super cool, really active bit of conservation and helping out the gorillas in the wild, because it's their rainforests that get cut down. So I'm just going to play a little bit of this, because I used billboards and all sorts of stuff.
Zoals camera's, laptops, maar vooral mobiele telefoons. Zonder coltan werken ze niet. En dus worden er mijnen aangelegd. Mijnen die zo krap zijn dat er zelfs kinderen in moeten werken. Dit zijn de mijnen die een van de grootste bedreigingen vormen voor gorilla's en chimpansees. Zie je die oude telefoon daar op het bureau liggen? Ook daar zit gewoon nog coltan in. Ook in de oude mobieltjes.
So yeah, that gives you an idea of what it's like. I made these recordings myself just at the zoo, and they sound really well. They sound really good in game, so no problems there. So yeah, that is the final improvement for this area. The coltan mine is now completely up to snuff. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to mention about it is actually when I started building the next area, which we will be going to in the next episode, I found out that the entire coltan mine was like a couple meters off. I had another big old grit mistake from probably also from back when I first built this, you know. So I actually moved a whole chunk of this area, including the entire mine, over like I think it's more than 8 meters that way. So I built this twice, is basically what I'm trying to say. Not really, of course, because I had all the props and things, didn't have to rebuild those. But it wasn't fun to move. And also, just like with the entrance area, this is all just one big chunk of path, and I'm using barriers. And I'm using barriers on the ground here to get people to stay on the path. And also inside of this laptop is a memorial plaque. I don't think I do use a TV screen because it looked better than the memorial plaque, but there is a memorial plaque inside of the TV screen. Don't question it. But the memorial plaque is making it so that people actually hello? Uh-oh, I broke the video. There we go. the memorial plaque is actually making it so that people walk over here and look at the video, which, no, they don't actually do that much in real life, but, yeah. That's all I have to say about it. So, in the next episode, we're going to cross over this bridge, which I should actually show. Look at this black magic. Thanks to the free build mod you may be familiar with, there's just a very slim piece of terrain here, which makes it so that we can have a path going over this bridge without the huge bit of concrete and stuff like that you would normally get when making bridges. So, thanks free build mod. This bridge is looking way better because of you. But yeah, next episode we're going to be going across this bridge. You can see a lot of changes already. The digging machines have been hard at work here. We're going to be looking at the changes to this lion habitat, as well as over at the docks we can see some boats being lifted out of the water right now because they're getting a little paint job. So we are also going to have a look at that in the next episode. It's going to be a bit of a shorter one, but I hope you look forward to it. I'll see you then. Bye bye.